Hey. All right, how's everybody doing out there? I was watching this Rocky movie. I don't know which one it was. It was on last night, and there's some like stuff in Rocky films. It must be Rocky 5000 or something I was watching, but it's a bit about like in life and that. He says it's not about how many times you get hit and how hard you get hit. It's about how you get back up. It's quite poetic stuff, really, from the old rock star. Right. So we've got a bit of a surprise today on the channel. An actual expensive golf club. The Stealth Plus 9 degree. It's actually a Ventus Fujikura shaft. I have got it set 1.5 degrees higher, which makes it it'll make it a 10.5 degree loft. Now, brand new, this was 500 quid, but this is the original Stealth. So you can pick them up for about 250 quid for one of these. And when I hit it, I absolutely cane it. You know, like I'm just going to warm up while I'm talking. Uh, but not all of us have got like 500 quid for a brand new driver. So one of your options would be to pick one of these up. 250 quid for a second-hand driver, or 234 quid. I think I've seen them at. Maybe not in as good condition as this one, because I've been loaned this by Hugh at the golf club, who bought one and couldn't hit it, and then got another one, and hence said I could have a hit with it. And I must say, when you catch these, and the red face is not distracting. I quite like the red face on it, and the sound of them. It's not as muted as people said it was. It's quite, you get a great. Somebody will hand that tea in. You get a good noise off it when you hit it. It doesn't sound, to me anyway, it doesn't sound like a carbon face when you hit it. You know, um, the shape of it and how the face kind of curves around. If you remember the Callaway FT3 Fusions, the head's bigger than the face, and there's a reason for that. Obviously, it's more forgiving, but I would say it's awful more like heel bias on the club. But it does really sound good, and there's no doubt about it that it's solid, for a carbon face driver, right? So, cracking by if you could afford it. If you can't afford it, let's have a look at what you could get. This came out in 2002, tailor-made, 540. This is a 10.5 degree loft, 20 quid. 20 quid this cost. And will it perform any worse than the Stealth all singing and dancing. Alright, it's not got adjustability. You can't adjust the shaft, lie angle, or adjust the loft. It's pretty much set. So, is it worth an extra 230 quid for that? And let's hear the difference in the sound. Sounds pretty similar, doesn't it? Sounds really similar. And considering this is obviously 100% titanium, unlike the Stealth, which is obviously carbon base, all the rest of it, 20 quid. 20 quid. It's not got a Fujikura shaft, it's got a Maz high trajectory, low torque. Sits really nice. I'd say sits nicer than the Stealth because it's not towed in. It's very neutral. Really does feel good. I've got to say, for 20 quid. I mean, there's a lot of clubs out there, right? 2002. How many years is that? 22 years old. 22 years old. I'm going to Google that. Google it now and tell me if I'm right in saying that this is 2002 this came out. Because that seems like ages ago. 22 years ago. It could be, Could be. Trying to think what was happening in 2002. Can't remember what was happening last week, never mind 2022. I'm like, Rocky, punched too many times. What was that? The other classic from The Sopranos, I thought it was out, and then he dragged me back in. Something like that. Anyway, classic television. You can tell how bad the weather is when you're resorting to watching television. Or iPlayer catch up, whatever. Some great shows on though. Who's been watching Kin? Ho ho ho. Tell you what, 2 episodes in, and I was hooked. Kin's awesome. Get it on the iPlayer. Whew. Yeah. If I had 250 quid, Hugh, I would buy a driver. I think the Stealth is like a heck of a driver. Let's just compare it on the old length. Let's see what it's like. Yeah. Well, I tell you can definitely tell the difference in the head size. Good grief. I mean, this doesn't look small, but that completely eclipses that one. Oof. Yeah. Not to say that I, haven't missed the middle yet, as you can see. Straight out the middle. Straight out the middle of that, though, as well. But sound-wise, it's quite incredible, eh? I mean, I haven't obviously really put a Stealth right, in the same pitting category as a. But it doesn't sound muted at all, does it? I mean, let's hit another one. Let's see, muted. It just doesn't. It sounds like very difficult to tell the difference, really. And I have moved the adjustability of the modern drivers, I think. If you don't muck about with them too much, so you can see there I've adjusted that to, you would call that just a slight draw, not a lot though. It's more like diagonally in line. This is a massive big weight port to help get it up, so misses. So I've diagonally lined that, so it's not in the full draw. It's not in neutral. let's say, you know, if you're swinging on that path into out, then don't want to hit too much because I'm going to end up like regretting handing it back to Hugh. But 250 smackaroos, and I know it's saving a lot of money buying it second hand, isn't it? I mean, well, it is, but it's not saving you as much as 230 quid with a £20 driver that probably will hit more fairways in the long run and feel just as good. Maybe just slightly louder, eh? When you hit it right after. Where was that one? Right out the middle. Got the tee though, that's good. Some no handies in, I keep saying that. Yeah, so I was only joking about Rocky 5000. It was Rocky 5, I think. I'm not sure. There's been a lot of Rocky movies, isn't there? But it was quite poetic after the day I'd had. Shit day. Sometimes it may be shit, sometimes it may be good. Or sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit. Yeah, one of them ones. In case you don't know, I know I try and do it every second or third, fourth video, but the channel's all for charity. Macmillan, Help the Heroes and Shelter UK. It's where the ad revenue goes. Hence, we can't afford £250 drivers because the ad revenue is going to charity. So, if anybody out there wants to help out with equipment, let us know. Greenkeeper making a racket. Needs more. What he's doing in this weather. You can hear the roof, it's absolutely tipping it down. Ducks wouldn't go out in this weather. I'm honestly thinking about no bother and going out tomorrow. It's absolutely, I mean, it's just monsooned it here for the last, I don't know how long. And the forecast isn't looking too clever. I blame Doogie Viepont. He's going out, and I'm sure there's a song, Deacon Blue, Rain Town. I think that's what's happened here. Doogie Viepont's going out on the golf course, and it's Rain Town. And he hasn't teed off yet, but oh no, that was maybe him teeing off. And you think I'm joking, but no, Doogie Viepont is actually on the golf course. Rain Town, Rain Town, raining down. Right, absolutely passionate. Oh, you know, I don't care what anybody says. Has TaylorMade actually improved anything majorly? Oh, I mean, like looks wise, yeah, but you could say the same thing about your wife. I mean, over the years, makeup, clothes, fashion, everything's made your wife look a lot better than when you first married her. Oops, edit that, note to self, edit that out. So it's all cosmetic. That's what I'm trying to say. Golf clubs, cosmetic, you know, because obviously that's sexy, and this is no as sexy, looks wise. Just digging myself a deeper hole here. Right, on that note about that, Grace, whatever her name is, disappeared off of everything. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, well, X, because she's on X if you find her. Removed content because she's breached social media guidelines, but she's on what's that thing where, oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue. OnlyFans. She's on OnlyFans. So I reckon, as do NK Punk UK, he reckons the same thing. She's breached under the terms of getting her kit off, basically, and got herself suspended, striked, barred for, I don't know how it works. I don't intend stripping off anytime soon, so. It wasn't a good swing, but we are still doing the exact same thing, in case you're wondering. Videos are dropping about what we're doing. It's very much getting the club moving and the body reacting to the movement of the club up on this 45, and see how your legs really just magically follow. So yeah, one last hit, and we'll look at that stealth, and oh man. Also, old Den, the head cover, Stennis the Menace, he fits on the old driver. He didn't fit on the new one. It's too tight. Doesn't fit right up him. The head cover. Right, here we go. Last hit of the day. That's it, big man. Give it some wildy. You don't want to mess with a big man, 'cause a big man'll sort you right out. Well, one would. That was Mullard. Middle again. Oh, right. I've got my tea. Can't afford to keep losing teas. Right. Thanks for watching. As always, we'll get. Look, he fits on lovely. What do you think of the show so far? So, thanks for watching. Subscribe, a like. That type of thing's always handy. And there you go. See, 20 quid versus 250. Although I have seen ones in slightly user condition for 235. But bearing in mind that the new ones, and obviously when they first came out, 500 and something quid, depending on your shaft option. Golf clubs have just gone bonkers with prices, like. So the smart lot out of you, yeah, 234 quid, I think. If you get one of these for that, it's definitely worth it, innit? The only problem you've got is, how long do TaylorMade warrant these? Because they have a habit of, and if you read the forums, but I'm guessing that if you bought, like I did, that was from Cash for Clubs. So I reckon if you got one of these for Cash for Clubs, you would have a 12-month warranty with it, which would encompass the face accidentally popping out without you abusing the club. So I think you'd be safe there, see? Obviously the new one's out, so they might get a bit cheaper. But I checked, and 234 quid's as cheap as you can get that with that shaft. 20 quid, I'm hitting it just the same. Probably not even dropping a yard of distance. Probably going exactly the same distance. Guarantee it will. I can hit virtually any driver on the planet. It'll still go exactly the same distance. Marketing gimmicks, you comment below. Are we all getting suckered into it? Because it's new and shiny. We all like shiny things. Well, cut.